Ayan, so good evening everyone para sa mga nanonood sa atin dito with our 25th episode with our podcast, no? So in this case, kasama natin ulit si Boss Fatal. Ayan, so with my co-host Boss Fatal. So good evening, Boss Fatal. Ayan, kanina
Good
medyo nakapag...
evening din.
Ayan, so kanina mga nakapag-talk trip na kami sa Discord Kasi before kami pumunta dito, nagde-Discord muna kami to talk with our fellow members. And ayan, so pag-usapan namin kanining about sa mga DAOs, about sa mga play to earn games. So sobrang interesting talaga ng mga opportunities right now with DAOs, no? I think sobrang bright talaga ng future, no? How about you? Anong opinion mo doon, Fatal?
For me kasi talaga, it all comes into the community itself eh. Talaga makikita mo yung determination, yung parang kung titingin tayo ng entity project, yung roadmap ng isang certain organization, if makikita natin siya na parang it will dive into much more bigger projects in the future and also expand its connection pa rin.
Sa bagay, that's true. And also pala no guys, no. So for this episode din natin, just like always, we have crypto news for this past few weeks. Pero before we go to our crypto news, let's proceed with our partners muna para malaman natin sino yung mga partners.
Exactly. Ayan. So, never kaming titigil na magpapasalamat sa ating community partners for supporting sa vision ng Board Punks of Society. It is Crypto Chain PH, Real Deal Guild, Gabal's Cryptocurrency Signal, Yes Supplies, Ape Armor Guild, CNG, NASA Esports, Sinag Esports, LPads, SL Notify, and lastly, Zfix Drive. And let's not forget, bilang isang board monk holder, may mga benefits din tayo matatanggap. And makikita natin sila sliding down sa ating baba dyan. One of it is Anytime Fitness, Lolo Claus Restaurant, and many more. Ayan.
Alam nyo ba guys, sobrang dami na talagang nagiging partners ng board banks actually. I think it's 150 plus na ata so far, no? So growing talaga continuously ang I'm not sure kung 150. Alam ko nasa 100 plus na tayo.
Mix na ba yun? Balita ko 75 pa lang.
75. Mali pala guys. Sorry, baka fake news. Basta alam ko madami na. Na-double ko pala. Pero anyways, sobrang growing na talagang community natin and we're really glad na na-support nyo kami from the start. Gaya na lagi namin sinasabi, we've had a very humble beginning lang talaga with board punks, and right now dito na tayo with all of these partners and all of these supporters. And to proceed with our with our news, so we have three big news this recent week. And para sa first news natin, it's regarding the Axie Ronin hack. Kasi kung familiar kayo, Ronin is yung network or yung kumbaga sidechain na ginagamit ng Axie para ma-process yung network nila with Axie Infinity. And recently nga lang, nagkaroon ng hack ang Axie or ang Ronin Bridge for around $600 million or nasa around 31 billion pesos. It's considered probably one of the largest hacks daw in history. Kasi in this case, ang hack sa kanila dito is liquidity pool. So yung liquidity pool nila for Ethereum and USDC. So in this case, na-hack yung sobrang laking amount nila in their liquidity pool. Pero so far, nagkaroon naman na sila ng mga further actions about it. So right now, naipag-contact na sila with Binance. Naipag-contact na sila also with Chainalysis. So with Chainalysis, isa silang kumbaga analytics company na nagtatrack ng mga transactions para mas ma-connect yung mga transactions with real world people. So meron mga ganung companies and nakipag-coordinate na sila with that. So far nagkaroon na sila ng mga changes din with their system sa may bridge nila. So or sa may system ng Ronin. So from 5 keys na kailangan para mag-process ng transaction, ginawa nila tong 8 out of 9. So in this case, masinecure muna nila, and so far they're doing their best daw for this one. Although ang one issue lang ng a lot of members in this case sa issue ng Ronin, it actually took them 5 days para malaman nila yung issue na to. I think around 5 days or I'm not sure kung exactly 5 days, pero around that time of days nila nalaman nung may nag-report ng isang user na hindi daw siya makapag-withdraw with Ethereum yung Ethereum nila, which is grabe, sobrang unfortunate talaga. And how about you, Boss Fatal? May mga ano ka ba dun, inputs ka ba out sa recent hack ng Ronin? Like, yung mga recent hacks na nangyayari, anong masasabi mo dun so far?
Speaking of hacks din, actually, hindi lang Ronin ang recently na hack din. Um, to follow up that news, to be honest, may mga Discord bots din na na-hack, to be honest. If nabalitaan mo rin, which actually is a threat sa mga Discord servers, mas lalo na yung mga Discord server na kung nasan yung mga big, let's say, blue chip NFT projects or even iba't ibang guilds in general. Like, iba na talaga ang nagagawa ng hackers ngayon. Makita natin, it poses a huge threat na kailangan talagang i-anticipate ng bawat isa. So, to follow up then, even though may malaking setback si Axie Infinity or si Ronin do sa bridge nila, they will still pursue, which is naman yung Origin. Ayan. Yung Origin naman. So, ito naman yung mga isa sa mga inaabangan ng ating mga play-to-earn players, hindi lang scholars, pati mga managers on how they will adjust in the gameplay sense in terms of the P2E in Axie Infinity. So, ano yung thoughts mo about Origin itself, Mark Senpai?
Actually, with Origin, personally, so far talaga, medyo bullish talaga ako with Axie. Marami nagsasabi, masyado daw akong bias sa Axie. Pero, actually, in my case, nag-start ako with being bearish sa Axie back then. Pero recently kasi, na-realize ko with my research with Axie, especially in Origin, it's possible kasi na magkaroon ng big demand for it. So, gaya na sabi ko, hindi ko naman kayo fino-FOMO, guys. So, don't worry. Pero ang naging insight ko lang kasi with Origin kasi once na launch siya, pwede siya magkaroon ng more demand, obviously. Pag nagkaroon ng more demand, possible na tumaas yung, let's say, yung price. Although hindi naman sa pinakamataas na level, pero possible tumaas. And once tumaas yung price niya, it's possible na ma-attract yung other countries na hindi pa natatap na Axie, like yung mga rich countries, for example. And yun yung possible na another, demand drivers. So, ganun ko siya nakikita. Pero syempre, kailangan pa rin yan ng proper implementation. Kasi kung hindi siya ma-implement na maayos, di ba? Hindi siya magwo-work and hindi rin magpo-process na maayos yung buong economy na Axie, kumbaga.
Yes, exactly nga. Kasi nga, there's so many teasers right now about Origin. It's day 2 na, I guess. Day 2 na ng pag-release nila ng mga teasers. And as well as, alam ko, later, around 9 p.m. or 9:30-ish, they will release the initial gameplay for Axie Infinity Origin. So, maraming tao talagang hype for that kind of gameplay din, kung paano makikita, kung paano yung strategies yung pwede lang gawin sa current Axie na meron sila. So yun lang more about Origin for me. Any other Mark Senpai?
Yes, actually, Origin is definitely good nga talaga. And let's hope na maging magandang ganap nila, despite na nangyari sa Ronin recently. And for our last news, before we proceed with our guest right now, so recently nagkaroon ng isang controversial na law na napatupad sa India, kasi itong law na to ay nagko-contain ng kumbaga isang provision na nagsasabi na magkakaroon ng 30% tax in cryptocurrency. So 30% tax itself, it's actually for India pala, just to clarify. It's a law implemented in India na magkakaroon sila ng 30% taxation on cryptocurrency, which is in that case pa lang sobrang laki na niya actually. Sobrang laki na niya, 30% itself. Tapos idagdag mo pa yung part na yung tradings daw in that case, kumbaga medyo mas nagpalala pa ng onti doon. Sa trades mo daw, hindi mo pwedeng i-offset yung loss mo. Kumbaga parang gamiting pangbawas sa taxes mo yung mga losses mo for your crypto. So imagine, ang laki na ng babayad mo na tax and yung crypto losses mo pa hindi mo pa maano. So yes, actually sobrang naging controversial siya. And I think yung recent na naging dip natin, it's highly possible na it's from the selling pressure sa may India. Kasi around April 1 or March 31, probably marami magsisell, para maiwasan nila yung padating na tax na law na yon, which I think yung possible nga drivers yon. And ayun, before we proceed sa with our guest, anong thoughts mo dun so far with Fatal, with yung taxations and everything? Anong thoughts mo so far?
I mean, for me, to be honest, it's harsh para sa side nila, yung mga users is exactly. Kasi yung loss mo, dagdag loss pa due to the taxes na matatanggap mo, di ba? Like, yung essence na parang decentralized, talagang nalilito ng mga tao on how will they move the market without even relying to sa mga laws na kailangan nilang i-abide. So for me, it could be a somewhat setback, but still, who knows, parang pag-aaralan pa rin yan eh. Kasi we are here to educate din naman and to learn sa maaring mangyari pa in the future. Yeah.
Yes, truth. And yun nga talaga, with hopefully lang din with the Philippines na upcoming na na alam mo yun, na kung possible din na magkaroon ng specific tax law. So hopefully hindi siya as harsh nun, kasi I think yung sa mga recent events naman in the Philippines, hindi naman sila sobrang anti with crypto from what I've seen, kasi I think pati yung Bangko Sentral nagkaroon sila ng parang live session about crypto eh. Nakalimutan ko what date yun siya, pero nagkaroon sila with doon. So let's hope na hindi rin siya ganun ka-harsh with the Philippines. And yun nga, so that's our news for this week. And proceeding with our guest right now. So our guest right now is a finance coach, and he's been very influential din talaga on TikTok. For me, in my case, I've also met him, I think, around on TikTok then, and he's very, very, the way he speaks talaga for me is very great. Like yung habang pinapanood ko yung videos na back then, yung impact ng words niya really parang talaga bumabaon talaga sa feelings talaga yung lessons and everything. And so far, I really believe na he's very knowledgeable and he's really fit for this topic now gagawin natin right now, which is ano nga ba yung mga best strategies to be strategies and habits to become a millionaire actually. So in this case, without further ado, let's all welcome Migs Flores, or Juan Miguel Flores. Pasok na direct.
Hi everyone.
Ayan.
Salamat. Oh.
Good evening,
thank you for
Coach
having me. Welcome me back. Welcome back.
Yes, good evening, Coach Migs. And actually guys, so to inform you guys pala, nakasama na natin si Coach Migs, I think, in a previous podcast din, pero it's with Discord pa lang. So ito yung first time natin na makasama siya, na kasama natin siya for an online podcast na here on Facebook na rin and other socials. So how are you doing so far, Coach Migs?
I'm good. Actually, I just went from another event, another schedule. Pero sabi ko, go lang, let's go ahead, let's make this work. I'm so excited to have, ang dami ng tao, totoo, from the community, from the Discord, ang dami ng those people who wanted to ask me questions. So sabi ko, I think it's time. And if I'm not mistaken, kung naalala nyo, parang there was this time last week, or 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, sabi ko, hey, I want to go back and speak to a lot of people already. Sabi ko, it's time to be back. So I'm just so excited for today. Oh.
Yes. Actually, we're very excited din, Coach Mix, with you. Kasi last week, nakasama namin si Coach MJ. And if you guys don't know pa guys, si Coach MJ is actually one of, Mig's close friend, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're very close friends talaga. And it's good to have both of you, kasi yung circle talaga nila actually is very, I think is very is a very good example of, alam mo yun, yung kumbaga successful friendships, from what I've seen so far. And it's really great to have you here, Coach Migs. And how about you, Fatal? May mga inputs ka ba before we start?
To be honest, I've heard a lot from Coach Migs. Talagang very inspiring, very motivating. Like, to be honest, way before back, experience ko na mag-speak si Coach Migs way back sa Discord. And I was once a viewer. And now, I'm happy to be a part of this host na live ko maririnig. Yung discussion natin for tonight.
Yes. And so again, to start na with our discussion, guys, I think we can start muna with Coach Migs. So just para alam lang din ng everyone, Coach Migs. So sino nga ba si Coach Migs and what are you doing so far right now?
Okay, so of course, I think a lot of people know me from TikTok, pero magiging honest ako, no, it's not my job. Okay, I don't earn anything from TikTok except if there are any brands that wanted to partner with me. Pero sa to lang, majority of the time, I'm just doing it for hobby. I'm actually an entrepreneur. Okay, I own 4 businesses right now. I'm also an investor. Okay, so my entrepreneurship is leaning towards becoming an investor as well. And my passion really and my gift is, I think, speaking. Kumbaga, this speaking is actually my play. No, kumbaga, whenever I speak, sobrang nag-enjoy ako niya, no? Kumbaga, daldalan tayo all day, all night. So yung mga nagdandito na medyo matatagal, all night. So okay lang, okay lang. Why? Because this is my play. Pero outside of, outside of the camera, outside of my tawag dito, my guesting with you guys, what I really do is I do business. So I'm 100%, 101% focused on building, scaling, reinvesting, creating businesses. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Ooh, ayan. So bakit, thanks for mentioning pala na Coach Migs. No? I think for a lot of people din kasi with maraming nagmi-mistake, for like for example, kay MJ din last week. Since, mostly on TikTok, ang madalas lang nakikita nila is yung mga lessons lang and yung mga other things. Hindi masyadong familiar with the life na nami-mistaken na ay TikTok yung ginagawa and everything. And now it's great to know na I know for everyone din na Coach Mig is doing a lot of other things then, which is business, for example.
Oh, in fact, TikTok is the last thing on my calendar. If I'm just kumbaga, kasi ang dami nagko-comment eh. Oy, ito na naman yung ang pinagkakitaan lang yung TikTok. Excuse me, wala ako kinikita dyan. Okay? The least na pagkakitaan ko dyan, no, if I get to partner up with brands that I actually use myself. So, hindi din lahat ng brands I actually accept. These are the brands that I actually use myself. These are the brands that I actually believe in. And for the things that will benefit them, of course, I want a piece of it as well. Pero the truth is, majority of my content, as in 90%, 95%, even 98% of the things that I share in TikTok, okay, especially on very valuable stuff, they're all free. I don't get a piece of it. No, di ako binabayaran ni TikTok dyan. So, yung sa mga nagko-comment, excuse me, no, okay, mag-feeling, please.
Yes, exactly, tama nga. Kasi parang si TikTok is just another platform to share information, to share more knowledge sa ating mga viewers. Since TikTok is actually a trend na parang once you scroll sa FYP mo and you got interested, you're being educated as well, di ba?
Yes.
Agree. And that's what I love about TikTok now. Unang-una, it's not as toxic as other social media sites yet. Okay, so yung mga medyo toxic na tao, wag na kayo bumisita ng TikTok, okay na yan, stay na kayo kung nasan kayo. Number 2, I think what I love about TikTok is that the algorithm is, although I don't really believe much on algorithms, but the algorithm of FYP is dependent on the viewership of people. Ibig sabihin, if I spend, let's say, 5 seconds or 8 seconds or even, 30 seconds on this specific video, TikTok is gonna give me similar videos related to that. So, ang ganda nun. Simply because if we're talking about education, for example, nagsusunuran yan eh. Maraming natututo because of that. And hindi na lang siya yung contrary to popular belief, hindi na lang siya yung mga sumasayaw. No? Kapag sabi yung mga TikTok nagsabi, bakit gano'n? Yung TikTok, puro sayaw lang naman. Ibig sabihin, yun lang talaga yung pinapanood mo. Obvious. Huli. Yan lang talaga yung pinapanood mo kasi those people who are really wanting to learn, TikTok is the avenue for that as well.
Yes, actually, ay, totoo yun guys ha, kasi I think nung nag-start din ako with TikTok, yun yung common na yung common na belief with TikTok. Although right now I think medyo nag-iiba na tayo with those paniniwala about TikTok. Pero back then nga talaga akala puro sayaw lang and everything. Pero right now, makikita niyo naman si Coach Migs, Coach MJ, and even I'm on TikTok din naman. So marami na ring iba't ibang types ng videos actually on TikTok. So hindi na lang siya puro sayaw. And actually, just to share lang with you guys, I think Coach Migs din would agree with this. I think so far, with a lot of social media platforms, I think TikTok ate may pinakamagandang reach so far, and engagements. Like compared with YouTube and Facebook. Agree ka ba na, Coach Migs?
Yeah, I think so. And valuable engagements. Kasi ang ganda, you can actually answer via video. I think one of the things around TikTok that I love is that you can actually, either positive, a question, neutral, or negative. You can answer via video. Di ba? Unlike sa Facebook, for example, magko-comment yan ng negative, ang tapang kasi keyboard warrior, for example. Kasi alam niya, hindi siya mababalikan di ba? Alam niya, hindi ako mababalikan. Pero sa TikTok, hindi. Pag na-answer via video, kahit i-delete mo yung comment, huli ka na. So, the quote-unquote, the community itself that the TikTok world is building, bawal ka magloko kasi kapag nagloko, wala na, pagpupunteryahin ka na sa comment section. Kapag lalo na pag nang-troll ka, yari ka ngayon. Lalo na kapag nagmamarunong ka lang, yari ka pag nagmamarunong ka, So, ang ganda nun. Sa Facebook kasi, for example, ang ganda ng engagement, ng like, share, comment on Facebook, pero wala sila nung ganung feature. So, yung iba, ang tapang. Pero in TikTok, hindi nila magawa yun. Yeah.
I think one of the reason natin na siguro kaya medyo mas less ang toxic sa TikTok kasi ayun nga, sila yung mga comments na pwede lang sabihin, pwede nang ma-permanently malagay sa internet Pwede na silang matawag doon, maipit with that issue. So, I think medyo mas nag-iingat yung mga tao sa TikTok, no. And I think one of the reasons yun talaga kung bakit, I guess so far mas less toxic ang TikTok. How about you,
Right.
Fatal? Ano bang experience mo with TikTok so far?
To be honest, yung FYP ko is more on cooking, digital stuff, crypto, pay to earn. Kasi yung FYP mo kasi, it just randomly pops yung mga video na parang it piques your interest. That's why you're being educated at the same time, entertained, and as well as mahiwagaan ka on what are the other things for the content of sa TikTok na yan. Di ba? Saka tama si Coach Migs kasi once na na-replyan yung specific comment na yun, once posted, nandiyan na sa internet, di na mabubura yan, nasa database na yan, nasa history na.
Yes. And pala, no, so I think medyo nalalayo na pala tayo sa topic, no? I think going back to the topic pala, no? So again, going back to our topic pala, guys, no? Ang topic natin right now is ano ba yung mga best habits, or strategies to be a millionaire? Kasi syempre, probably a lot of us, probably even all of us are interested on becoming one. So, just to start this topic up, Coach Migs, I just want to ask, so are you currently on the millionaire status na ba? And when did you reach this? If yes, when did you reach this status and how?
Napakagandang tanong niya, no? Napakahirap ng tanong ko, no?
Yes.
I think I reached it 3 years ago. Yeah. So I'm 3 to 4, around 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah. So I just wanna qualify that because again, there has been a common misconception around, for example, quote unquote, the millionaire status. Okay, there has been a lot of, let's say, cloud around it. There's been a lot of misconception around it. This is also why I've been teaching this, no? Kasi there's a difference between, allow me to share this, Fatal and Mark. There's a difference between millionaire worth and cash flow. Okay? Because let me be honest with you, when I reached this 3 to 4 years ago, hindi siya ganon kapakiramdam. I just want to qualify that. I just want to put context around it. Kasi a lot of people, I want to hit 1 million, I want to hit 1 million. Once you hit 1 million, bakit ganon? It's not the expectation I have. Di ba? Sabi nila kapag milyonaryo na, you're set for life, okay na to, you're good to go, and that's it. No? I kid you not, in today's day and in today's age, 1 million, I'm gonna give this challenge to every one of you. 1 million is a minimum standard. Okay? Mabilis yan, no? Especially with money. It's not as big as a lot of people think, especially when we're talking about worth. Okay? The most important thing that I want people to focus on is cash flow. Because when I had it around 3 to 4 years ago, parang 5 minutes lang yung tuwa ko. Totoo. 5 minutes. Kumbaga parang, wow, grabe, ang galing. Tumaas yung yabang ko, ganyan. Tumaas yung yabang ko after 5 minutes. The next question, I don't know if you guys can relate with this, no? Or meron dito nakaka-relate. the next question is, wait, how can I maintain this? So from full excitement to worry. No, kailangan ko mag-ingat ngayon. Kailangan tinitignan ko yung expenses ko, tinitignan ko yung mga gastos ko. I gotta be prepared. Di ko naman niya iniisip dati. Correct? Because now I have a reputation, quote-unquote, to maintain. Doesn't make sense. Di ba? Instead of enjoying life, instead of masaya yung buhay, nagiging, defensive na. So I want to qualify that. That's why for me, and I want to share this with everyone, the most important part here that I want you guys to really take a look into is cash flow. Number 2, bakit cash flow? Pwede mo quote-unquote somewhat dayain yung millionaire status eh. You get into a real estate property, for example, okay? With the millions in worth, okay, put it into financing, leverage it, use financing leverage, and then you're gonna quote-unquote a millionaire worth. Correct? Pero will that affect your quality of life? No. Will that affect your life experience? No. So, again, what I want to be building here is the habits. Ganda nung sinabi nyo, no? Is the foundation, the habits, and the personal development that comes with the M status. Or what are the millionaires doing that ordinary people are not? What are the millionaires into that ordinary people are not? Mas gusto ko doon mag-focus on one basis and one basis alone, cash flow. Why cash flow? Okay? I can spend, for example, quote-unquote, I can spend, just as an example, 1 million in a day. Pero just because I know by tomorrow, all of my millions can come back. Bakit? Meron kang tinatawag na cash flow. Okay? Some people, ang priority lang just to have millions in a bank. Good luck, no? Especially with, with prices rising tremendously high right now. Okay? Yung inflation rate ngayon, kulang na lang. Nakikipaglaban sa stock market, no? Kulang, nakikipaglaban sa crypto. Sobrang 4.6 to 7 to 4 ulit to 3 to 4. Grabe. Kung tataya ka sa inflation ngayon, kung sa inflation ako tataya, kikita mo na ako. So sobrang taas ng interest eh. So especially with that prices, you cannot play life defensively. It always have to be offensive. And the offensive way that I'm sharing with you guys here is, how do I increase my cash flow? How do I increase my margins? Okay, which means income versus expenses. The gap is what you call margins. Hopefully not expenses over income. You call that a negative margin, which means is a loss. You want to make sure that the margins are high, because that even if I spend on things I want, no longer I need, but I want, I know I can be happy, I can be secured, I can have peace of mind, which is the ultimate end goal for everyone here, because I know by next week, ma-refill na naman whatever it is that I've spent. So, I hope that that helped you guys.
Yes, for sure.
Indeed. Ayun, so, grabe, no? Kasi para sa akin din, tama din talaga eh. Laking tama din sa akin, to be honest. Kasi, once you've hit that specific goal, ang lagi ko iniisip, what comes next? What are the next steps na parang gagawin mo to further improve that, na parang not only to maintain, but as well as to reinvest and to grow more. Yun ang napapansin ko in terms of kada achievement and milestone sa buhay. And lagi ko iniisip, I should not settle for less talaga.
Yeah.
Yun yung thoughts ko about that.
I see. And tsaka sa tingin ko, no, when it comes to so yun nga, so ayun nga, medyo mas na-realize ko siya actually with yung sa sinabi din ni Coach Migs, kasi I think isang hindi na-realize ng mga tao, kumbaga yung million, obviously it's a great thing, pero yung million is hindi siya sobrang as valuable kung hindi mo siya masusustain eh. Like sabihin natin, millionaire ka for a day, yun na yun, millionaire ka for a day, pero paano na bukas? Millionaire ka ngayon, tas bukas naghihirap ka, so it's not as good pa din eh. So I think sustainability pa din talagang ang important in this one.
Agree. Patong lang ako dyan. For example lang, crypto, 40x leverage, pumutok. Okay? Crypto, 40x leverage, pumutok, milyonarya ka ulit. Yabang mo, sasabihin mo ngayon, ang galing ko. Next trade, ubos, sunog. Come on. Ako lang ba nasunugan dito? Syempre, di ba? How do you know if you're in it? Sunugan ka. So, correct. So, nasunog yan after a day or after a week. Oh, how can you now sustain that? Versus what are the necessary foundations with regards to money, with regards to finances, with regards to, again, sabi nga nila, the millionaire habits or the millionaire foundations, the millionaire character, so that everything becomes sustainable long-term. Long-term.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And also to ask lang din, Coach Mig. So in your case, no, I guess with, yung sa millionaire status or even dun sa cash flow na I guess is something na fulfilling na sa'yo. So what are the things you've done back then to reach those things?
Okay. Let me share this with you as early as now. Number one, totoo din yon yung kasabihan na the hardest is always the first. Okay? Totoo yan. Bakit the first million will always be the hardest or the first sustainable million will always be the hardest? Because it will entail a lot of discipline. Okay? And let's I don't know if you guys can relate with me, but your journey from zero all the way to million is where the devil is. Totoo? When I say where the devil is, there will be all of this opportunity to take away whatever you get. Okay? Unang-una, no? Syempre, kinwento mo yan. Kunyari, first 100, first 200,000, kinwento mo yan. Pagkwento mo, pare, galing ko, kumita ako 100, kumita ako 200, ganyan. Eh di syempre, ano sabihin ni pare? Grabe, magpainom ka naman. Syempre, yabang mo eh. Di ba? Yabang mo, di nagpainom ka ngayon. Eh syempre, si pare, ibubulong niya yan sa pamilya mo. Di pagbulong sa pamilya mo, di ubus ulit yan. Correct? Saan nagsimula? Hindi nagsimula yan sa pamilya mo, hindi nagsimula yan kay pare, nagsimula yan kasi ang ingay mo. Come on, let's be honest, di ba? Ang ingay mo sinabi mo agad So ikaw, instead that you're here working on what? Discipline from 0 to M, automatic, mauubos yan. Number 2, kumita ka na let's say 200, 300. Di magsisimula ka na, grabe, si ganito nakita ko nag-hotel. Gusto ko rin ng TikTok video sa Okada. Ano ba ang Okada dyan? Simulan natin yan. Tapos mag-party tayo on the cove. My God, ha? Di syempre, just for what? TikTok video, Instagram story, Instagram all of these things, Facebook, hashtag ka pa dyan, YOLO. Diba? Gaganyan ka pa ngayon. Tapos, paminsan yung iba dyan, magpay-picture ka, tapos gagamit ka pa ng mga quotable quote. One day millionaires, no? Number 3, once you reach 500 to let's say 700, okay? Once you reach 500 to 700, sasabihin mo, now I've got investable cash to invest. Gusto mo na ngayon mag-invest. Ang tanong, ready ka na ba? Kasi, sabi nitong investment, too good to be true. Ang ganda nito, nasa BPOS kayo. Kasi nga, too good to be true, okay? Palong-palo, grabe, double your money in X weeks. No, I'll give you 175% return in 2 months. Pasok ka naman ngayon, 500,000. Tinakbo. So you get what I mean? From 0 all the way to 1M, it is the hardest because it will entail a lot of discipline to what? Say no.
Yes.
So what? To only make decisions that number 1, you know very well, and number 2, you know what the risks are. From 1 onwards, it becomes easy. It becomes easy. Because now you know what discipline is. Na ipasok mo na yun sa sarili mo. You already know which to say yes to and which to say no to. You already know how to scale that up. So, that being said, that's why the first M is always the hardest, because it will entail a lot of, number one, being quiet. So sa mga nanonood sa atin, kamingay. If you've got 200, shh ka lang. May palam. No, kung ayaw mong makuhanan, kay tahimik. Number two, say no to. It will entail a lot of say no to. Number three, it will entail a lot of humility. Anong ibig sabihin ng humility? If you want something because you want it, go ahead and buy it. But if you want something just because gusto mo magyabang sa ibang tao, don't buy it. Okay? So, yun yung main qualifier ko with regards to, Coach, kailan ba ako bibili or kailan ba ako hindi bibili? Ang tanong, does that really bring you joy? If yes, go ahead, buy it. Pero kung hindi, gusto mo lang kasi you have, gusto mo magyabang sa tao, gusto mo mag-post social media, wag mo munang gawin. Because once you reach the first M status onwards, ang dali. Ang dali bumili. Bakit? Kasi you know you've got. You know there's something that you have. And you already have studied money enough with the right discipline so that alam mo paano yung paikutin. And which I feel is very valuable and very important to every single person that's watching right now. Kaya mo ba yan paikutin? Alam mo ba paano yan paikutin? I hope that answered the question.
Yes, for sure. Like sobrang ano yun talaga. And also to add another question with ano pala no, with that statement, Coach Migs, with di ba gaya ng sabi mo yung with you should only spend on things that actually brings you joy. Pero minsan kasi may nangyayaring times na alam mo yun, na nagiging masyado ng matipid. Like alam mo yun, so sobrang eager mo mag-save and invest, minsan mas nag-focus ka na on not investing in yourself or for your own joy. So paano naman natin i-differentiate yung kumbaga yung line for that na you should not buy too much pero you should still buy yourself some things to make you happy.
Okay. Number one, of course, paano ko ba to? When you're starting, the discipline of saving will always be a must. Kasi meron na akong mga TikTok video, no? I just wanna put context here. Kasi meron na akong mga TikTok video. Ako personally kasi, I don't believe in budgeting. I believe in cash flow. Do not budget. Increase your income. Pero when you're starting, syempre, di ba? Pag nagsisimula ka, paano ka nga naman makakapag-increase ng income? Paano mo nga naman gagawin yun? Of course, you will budget. Now, my rule always with regards to when I'm starting is 40 to 50% saved. 40 to 50%. Okay? Ibig sabihin, if I'm earning 20, I will only spend 10. Paano yun? Hindi ba mahirap yun? Mahirap talaga. Ganun talaga. Sisimula ka eh. Di ba? Kung hindi mo kaya i-manage yung 10,000, 1,000,000 pa kaya. So I will always say that, di ba? And biblically, that's correct, no? How can God gives you the big if you cannot handle the few? So the very first thing is 40 to 50%. If that is not enough, that is an income problem, not a budgeting problem. Ulitin ko. If that is not enough, kunwari 20, ang expenses mo 15, sabi 10 lang. Work with 10. Now, if hindi mo talaga kaya to make it 15 or to make it 10 and talagang 15 ka, increase your income. Side hustle. Bawasan mo yung tulog mo. Bawasan mo Netflix mo. Bawasan mo laro mo. Bakit? Nagsisimula ka. Okay? We will always say this. I'm not sure kung narinig nyo na to kay Mel Jan, pero sasabihin ko na rin. Okay? If you cannot do what's hard but necessary today, you cannot live a life that is fun and easy tomorrow. The only way to live a life that is fun and easy for the rest of your life is to start doing the things that are hard and necessary today. Then, if you know na, okay, kaya ko na, nagagawa ko na yung mga dapat, automatically, whatever you sow, you reap. Diba? Whatever you sow, you reap. Pag tinanim mo, automatic mamumunga yan. Automatically, when things start to get into a momentum, okay, you now start to reap the harvest easily and easily and easily. Now, you save 40 to 50% after savings 40 to 50%. Yung other advisors will say 20%. okay naman yon, pero kasi I don't believe much if you can go higher. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na the thing around it is meron kang tinatawag na interest ratio. Okay, the number of years, if I'm not mistaken, for example, if you can save 20%, it will take you 37 years to be financially free. If I'm not mistaken, parang meron ganyang study. Ako, I don't like to be financially free at 37 years from now. I want it as fast as I can. So the formula there is how can I save as much as I can, even with the little that I have, and re-roll it to income-generating activities. Re-roll it to income-generating activities, starting with this, number 1, active investment. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng active investment? Ito yung negosyo, for example, or e-commerce, or affiliate, or whatever it is that will require your activity. Especially when you are young, okay, kung nasa before 20s ka to 20s, you're not yet on your 30s, napakataas ng energy mo, di ba? Wala ka pang karapatan maging tamad at magpahinga kasi hindi mo pa yan oras, no? Ibig sabihin, before 20s all the way to more than 30s, are you doing something that creates and generates income? Yun lang muna. Side hustle, freelance, sales, you do marketing, you do e-commerce. Napakadami, no? Napakadami paraan, but it has to be active. Why? Because an active investment is the only investment that gives you short-term return that is within your full control. Okay? Short-term return that is within your full control. Number 2 is semi-active. Ano yung semi-active? Ito yung still within your full control, but sometimes are not. Example of which is trading. Okay? It's within your full control kasi you can read charts, you can, meron kang tinatawag na indicators for you to make a profit, pero it's still not within your full control because whether you like it or not, the market has its own thinking and all we're doing is to follow it. Di ba? Nobody, not even Warren Buffett can predict the market. Kasi pag na-predict niya yung market, insider trading na tawag dyan, di ba? So, bawal yun. So, bawal yun. So, it's either may insider knowledge ka for you to predict it, but really, we're here to speculate based on that. So, itawag dyan semi-active. Last but not the least is your passive, which is, by the way, your last investment. Okay? Bakit last investment ang passive? Because again, when you're starting, it's easy. You have so much energy, gift, and talent that you can maximize. The biggest asset is still manpower. Human resource is still the biggest asset. Okay? Computers are more smarter but not more intelligent because they cannot think for themselves. They're only gonna think on the basis of artificial intelligence. When you now talk about creativity, wala na si technology dyan. Ang kailangan na niyan tao. Ang tanong, ikaw ba yun? So, what are you doing with regards to what? Soft skills. What are you doing with regards to creative skills? What are you doing with regard to social skills? What are you doing with regards to all of these human resource related skills so that you increase your marketplace value in the workforce? Not necessarily whether as a talent, as a career, or as a business. So I hope nakakasunod tayo, no? Kasi sobrang valuable nito, promise. Get it. Because now, when you now get into the passive mark, madali na yan. No, di ba, you can buy real estate at 50% down payment or 25% down. And by the way, the rich are using leverage schemes, no? The rich are using leverage schemes not because they cannot afford it, but because even if they can afford it, they know how to run their money. Bakit ko to kailangan i-emphasize? Kasi yung ibang tao dito are using leverage schemes, or hindi dito, sa iba, no? Yung ibang tao sa iba, they're using leverage schemes because they cannot afford it. You cannot spend money you don't have. Diba? Iutang mo, sorry, may tatama, iutang mo para makabuild ng negosyo. 80% of the time, yung negosyo na bumabagsak. Pero yung utang mo, guaranteed. So, hindi ka makalabas ng bahay ngayon kasi inutangan mo, kapitbahay mo, di ba? Uy, alis na tayo, agahan natin pag-alis. Bakit? Kasi by 8 o'clock, yung kapitbahay, magigising na, kailangan natin takasan. So, it's not a life worth living. Just because you spent money you don't even have. So, I hope, may sense ba yun? May sense ba? Mark?
Super may sense. Grabe. To be honest, talagang don't invest on your liabilities. To be honest, kasi mas lalong down ka talaga dun if ever talagang hindi magsiging successful yung magiging plans. Kaya, ayun, a follow-up question since we're on in becoming in a millionaire mindset, millionaire achievement, ano yung mga best industries and skills na you're currently using or you're currently advising to other people na gawin nila in order to achieve that millionaire goal in their lives?
Okay, I'm gonna answer it not on the basis of research. Okay lang? Kasi
No
kung
problem.
research ang basis, edi i-google nyo na lang, di ba? Wag nyo na ako i-damay dyan. So, kasi, okay. Kasi research will say, di ba? Research will say 20% of millionaires are from financial services. That's the top industry in the world. The second top industry in the world is Silicon Valley or technology, which accounts for, if I'm not mistaken, 9% of the world's millionaires. The 20% of the world's millionaires are from financial services, Silicon Valley, and then I forgot the rest. Research yan. Pero I will always say this. If you want to be a millionaire, you can do two things. The fastest way to become a millionaire is to be in the sales and marketing industry. Always. There is no business without sales. But there are salespeople that don't have a business. So anong ibig sabihin nun? The lifeblood of all businesses will always be sales and marketing. Okay? Number one, the fastest way to become a millionaire is to be in the sales and marketing industry. Okay? Number two, if you don't want it fast and you're okay with where you are, just be the best in where your talent is. Okay, anong example ko nito? For example, Shaquille O'Neal, okay, became a multi-millionaire when he was a basketball player. But it is his sales and marketing venture that made him hundreds of millions. Brand endorsements. Becoming the ambassador for some of his brands, and then started reinvesting it to, his burger chains and all. Pero nangyari yun sooner or later na lang. It is including Michael Jordan, no? The Jordan brand has made Michael Jordan more money than all of his salary from 1984 to 2003 all combined. So, it is not it is a unanimous decisions across all industries. Number one, be good with where you are, what you do. Number two, make sure you can translate it to a sales and marketing venture. Una, kailangan magaling ka. Okay? I will always say this. I'm an equity investor. I'm a private investor. If you're familiar with Shark Tank, Dragon's Den. So I am a business investor. No? So I invest in exchange of equity so that I can own a business. In fact, many of my businesses are through that. I just simply finance. Now, if you will ask me what is my core, no? Ano yung core na tinitingnan ko whenever people pitch me a business? Ang laging tinitingnan ko is what is your intensive and extensive knowledge of the business you're about to build. Kunyari, gusto mo magtayo ng coffee shop, di ka naman maalam sa kape, dahil lang sikat, you're not gonna get any money from me. No? Recently, may nag-pitch sa akin, want to scale up a business, okay, needing, if I'm not mistaken, almost $1 million in financing. And I said, how were you able to scale up your first 100,000 to first 150,000 with where you are at right now? Wala siyang ma-provide kasi daw kulang ng kung ano-ano. Sabi ko, no. If you cannot scale up with where you are right now, you gotta understand, this is for everyone, money is an amplifier. It is never the key end result. Or it is never the key end measure. So anong ibig sabihin yan? If you cannot scale up and build something with how much you have right now, you cannot scale it up if you already have $1 million. And yun yung gusto ko na makuha ng maraming tao din, especially, no, we're talking about the best industry here. The best industry, number one, is sales and marketing because it gives you the opportunity to scale up whatever it is you're doing. Gusto ko magtayo ng kainan, magaling ako magluto, or ganito, ito na, especially right now, lahat gusto pumasok into a crypto space. Meron lang konting kaalaman, di ba? Ito, si Mark, maraming nare-review na ganito, no? Kaya napipicture kayo, damay-damay na to, Mark, no? Okay, damay-damay na to. Welcome to my club. Okay. So, crypto, may pasok ng crypto, ganyan. Hindi naman alam yung extensively what crypto is. Just because nakita nila, narinig, all of these things, do not ever secure financing if you cannot ever secure demand. And what is the best industry to secure demand? Sales and marketing. Marketing, number one, to create attention. Remember, money follows attention. Ibig sabihin, kahit gaano kaganda whatever you're into, whatever project you're into, whatever products or services that you have, if people don't know you, they won't buy. Diba? Okay? The best business plans. Do you know?
To be honest, enlighten me, Coach Migs.
I also don't know because they don't make it to the business world. Diba? The truth is, it's not, okay, tatamaan, pasensya na. It's not the business plan that creates a business. It's actual business being on the field. That's why when people ask me, Coach, kailangan ko ba ng business plan? No, kailangan kong umaksyon ka agad. Because the real business plan is what goes in the process. What happens in the way. Business is never about, especially if you want to enter making money, no? This is making money. How do you reach an M status? All of these things, whether you are in business or kahit hindi business, ang sarili mo, you are a freelance or you are got your features, whatever. Now, it's totally BS. R18 naman to, di ba? Pwede naman, di ba? Wala namang 13 years old na nakikinig sa atin. So, it's totally BS that you will have your marketing plan, you will have your business plan, and then that will work 100% the moment you execute. No. It doesn't work that way. Real business happens like this. I got an initial plan, I will execute it, and I will do a real-time measurement if my initial plan is working or not. Whatever is working, I will scale up. Whatever that is not working, I will have to change variable. Then I'll go to the next. Then I sit down again. Whatever it is I can scale up, I'll scale up. Whatever it is that is not working, I will change a variable. Then I move on to the next.
Yes.
That's the real concept of business. So, you cannot get into it. That's why, again, sabi ko nga, top industry, sales and marketing, because a book cannot give you that. My TikTok video, whether you like it or not, will provide you initial information, but cannot give you that. YouTube cannot give you that. The only way for you to make it happen or to make it work is for you to be aware. To make sure that you are actually in field and creating and making it happen on the basis of marketing and sales. Why? Because people's agreement or rejection is a feedback. Reklamo sa Facebook, di ba? Support small business, ganyan. Walang obligasyon yung kaibigan mo sa'yo, di ba?
Yes.
Walang obligasyon yung pamilya mong bumili sa'yo. Kung pangit yan, hindi yan bibili. Or, pagbigyan ka man, o sige, bili ako sa'yo, pagbigyan kita, pero di na ako ulit. Bakit? Kasi alam kong pangit. It's not even worth my money. You don't want that. The only way to make it work is if people reject me, what is it that they reject? And what is it that I need to change? So that people will say yes. A really good product or a really good service or a really good marketing, people will say yes to. So if they're not saying yes to, what is it that I need to change? Top industry. Second top industry, again, as I say, is wherever you're at, you just want to make sure you can scale that up. You gotta be the best and you can scale that up. Yun lang.
Wow. Grabe. Sobrang extensive ng Coach Migs. And also no, to add in with what you've said about, yung I think one with yung too much planning actually happens in a lot of things din eh. At just to relate lang dun sa binanggit mo about starting a business. Like for example, yung mga tao for example na gusto mag-start let's say ng YouTube or ng TikTok account nila. Na gusto nila sobrang ganda muna ng camera, sobrang ganda muna ng equipments and everything before they start everything until nakabili na sila lahat, then they never actually started na, di ba? Compared sa actually starting it and then adjusting kumbaga along the way. Kasi parang mas mahirap doon is gagastos ka ng pagkalaki-laking pera tapos malalaman mo ay di ko pala gusto, ayaw ko pala nitong gantong tapos gumastos na ng malaki. So I think it's medyo similar din siguro with business na kung masyado kang magpa-plan ahead of time, then baka maubos yung oras mo doon, then you actually never started anything.
I agree. Ako, again, sabi ko nga, hindi ako super particular with the plan itself. Pero just to qualify, no, just to put context around it, of course, I know my numbers. Okay? And that is important if you get into what you want to become, habits of a millionaire, for example. Okay, or habits of the rich, they know their numbers, they know their variables. So personally, I am not again in tune with the marketing plan, business plan. I don't believe in that, but I know what my variables are. I know what my numbers are. Okay, especially with personal finance. If people want to get into, sabi nga nila, they want to get into the M status, no? Do you know where your numbers are? Do you know what your numbers are? Do you know, number one, how much money are you getting? Number two, how much money are you taking away? Number three, how much money from what you're taking away are actually gonna generate more income? Kasi a lot of people will always know your income, know your expenses, make sure your income is not equal to your expenses. Okay yan, if you're just trying to survive. That will not make you wealthy. That will not make you abundant. That will not make you rich. It will just make you survive. Okay? And be honestly, it will not even make you survive. Sabi ko nga, bakit? Yung gas lang eh.
Yes.
In 2 weeks time. Yung gas lang, in 2 weeks time, di ba? From okay lang to, oh my God, real quick, no? Ganun yung reaction ng tao. From okay lang to, oh my God, in 2 weeks time. So you cannot play the game of life really defensively. Now, again, 3 things I want to take a look into. You want to take a look into as far as knowing your numbers is concerned. Number 1, how much income you're getting. Number 2, how much expenses you're taking, you're spending. And last but not the least is how much from that expenses are generating more income, so you can increase your cash flow. Are you guys ready for that? Kasi not a lot of people are. Not a lot of people are for that. Some people just want to spend, okay lang kasi may bukas pa naman, no? And that's the reason why nakailang bukas na yan, no? Ilang taon na yung bukas na yan. Di na umabot. So, honestly, personally, majority of my spending decisions are things that I know will go back to me and bring friends on the way. So, yeah.
Exactly, good point. Correct me if I'm wrong, pero It's the way on how you execute something in order for it to be more productive. Tama ba, Coach Mix?
Right. It will either make you more productive, or it will, if you're, kung kunyari, doon muna tayo sa ano, kasi dalawa yan, negosyo sa talent, di ba? I wanna acknowledge that kasi hindi naman lahat is for business. Okay? Some are good talents. I let them stay that way, but make sure they're the best so that they can charge high. Now, let's pretend talent muna, for example, anything and everything that will increase. For example, you're good into video editing. Personally, kunyari, video editor ka or photographer ka or whatever, you gotta invest in equipment. Pero again, katulad ng sinabi ni Mark Senpai that I really love, hindi pwede na equipment muna before simula. Simulan mo muna. Okay? I kid you not. I started, pangit to lahat. All of these things are all improvements na lang. Hindi ako nakukontento. No, pansin niyo yung TikTok video ko kung saan-saan ako napupunta kasi hindi ako makontento sa setup ko. After a while, pag medyo naumay na ako dyan, papalitan ko na naman yan. Why? Because it's what you call continuous improvement. Okay? It's what you call continuous improvement. Therefore, I want you, if you're a talent, for example, or you're into business, you gotta invest it back. You gotta reinvest it back. Either pagandahin mo yung equipment mo, or padagdagan mo yung resources mo, or you wanna make sure it's always coming back to becoming better and better and better. So you got whether you like it or not, especially in the digital age, you gotta bring it back. So hindi ka lang laptop, for example, or computer, hindi ka lang bibili ng laptop or computer just because you just want an experience, no? But because you know it will help you to get more, to increase your profits, to increase your income, and to make more money. Yeah.
Yes. Grabe, thank you for that, Coach Migs. Sobrang naano ko talaga, especially yung with the equipments din talaga. I do agree, just to share my ano lang din. Actually, in my case, nag-start ako, doon lang ako sa kwarto namin, naka-selfie lang ako ng camera on my TikTok, tapos naka-earphones pa ako ng mic. Like sobrang poor quality talaga siya, pero ganun talaga, you have to start at something talaga, then improve na lang along the way. Then doon mo malalaman if you actually want it or not. Then if you want it, then reinvest in it, di ba? Reinvest in equipments, and cameras, and everything. Huwag ganun talaga.
And I tell you, Mark, you are still the most valuable asset. You as the person. Kahit gaano kaganda equipment mo, kung wala naman laman yung mga pinaggagawa mo, di wala din naman manonood, di ba? So, you are always, which means the continuous improvement here will always be number one priority you. The number one priority is how can I know more? How can I be more? How can I grow more? How can I develop more so that I can bring more value to the world? People buy value. People always buy value. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach Mitch. And before tayo mag-proceed to our question and answer, kasi may mga questions dito out there.
Go.
For my last question na lang din. So ano yung mga best practices kaya or strategies na people should learn or people should develop in order for them to be a millionaire and also to sustain being a millionaire din talaga overall?
Okay. Number one, I will always start this with humility. Humility that you are not yet where you want to be. Diba? Kasi yung yabang na yan, I'm gonna speak for myself kasi mayabang din naman ako. Pero, I know for a fact, di ba? Di ba, pag sinabi kong humble ko, parang ang yabang nun, di ba? Panlabo, no? Di ba, sabi mo, ako pinaka-humble, di ba? Ang yabang nun. So, I know for a fact that I brag also. Sometimes, pag natitrigger ako sa TikTok, bibigyan ko ng isa yan. Alam ni Mark Senpai, bibigyan. Isa nga ako, yung paparamdam ko lang na ayos ka nga. So, parang ganyan. But, sorry, tao lang din po. Natitempt din, no? Natitempt din.
Yes,
gano'n.
sure.
So, but anyway, so, humility that I am not yet, that there are people better than me. and humility to learn from them. So, whenever I get into what you call yung socializing, no? Whenever I get to socialize with people I don't know, I always just bring with me my enthusiasm, but I will not make pretend, or I will not, even if I know I live in a good place, even if I know all that, even if I know how abundant I am, I will not show it off. So the very first thing here is the humility to not show off, because there might be people na ma-off agad. So ako, simply, oy, kamusta, ganyan-ganyan, get to know the person, and if this person is really, really well, learn from them. So that's the very first thing, the humility to learn from people, okay? And number two, aside from learning from people, that level of humility is to surround myself with people, not yet surround, sorry, expose. That's the second thing, no? Expose myself with people who've got way, way, way bigger results. Okay? One of the things that I attended a conference last year in the States. Okay? I attended a conference in the States, and my God, no? You're looking into people who's worth $20 million, $50 million. Nasabi ko, shucks. My God. Isa kong dukha, no? Totoo, ganun yung pakiramdam ko, parang, oh my God. Bakit yan importante? Aside from the humility, bakit importante yung ganung exposure? Because I now know that I cannot rest on my laurel. I now know that there's a bigger world beyond me that I know I can be at. Does that make sense? So, importante yung ganung exposure rin na when people, sabi ko nga, cash flow. I started getting myself involved with good cash flow, and then I got myself involved with people who's 7 figures in cash flow on a monthly basis, and then started putting myself, and then started knowing some people whose cash flow are 8 figures on a monthly basis. And anong pakiramdam, ano kaya sa tingin niyo yung feeling ko when I started meeting with them? Hala, may tao palang ganun? Totoo ba yan? And then you start to know them more. And you realize, these people, again, misconception to, you realize when you get to meet these people, these are very nice people. No, in fact, some people who get to show more off, to show off more, are the people who's not yet on that status. Tama ba? May nakaka-relate sa inyo. When I started meeting myself with this person, parang talaga, oh, grabe, very nice, very wonderful people. And I started exposing myself just so I can increase my level of awareness and consciousness of what possibilities are at. Sometimes, and this is my tip for everyone, sometimes, the reason why you're not yet where you are is because you haven't figured out yet what it feels like and what it means to be where you want. Bakit? Kasi narinig natin to, sina Bill Gates, sina Manny Villar, kilala mo sila on the basis of internet, on the basis of newspaper or whatnot. Are you guys with me? Pero, hindi ito yung level of knowing that I'm saying. The level of knowing that I'm saying, as in you really know them. You know what their work ethics is like. You know what their day looks like. That's why hindi nag-grasp. We just know they're multi-billionaires, but we really don't know what it feels like. Okay? But when you get number 2, humility, number 1, number 2, exposure, that once upon a time, one of my good friends, no, when he got his place to an Ayala land premiere, no, I'm not sure if you guys familiar with an Ayala land premiere. A minimum condominium of Ayala ALP is around 30M or 50M. Then a good friend of mine started, "Uy, bagong lipat ako ALP." Sabi ko, "Oh, totoo? Legit? Oh, punta ako dyan." Eh di punta ako. Grabe, laki. Parang buong bahay na. So, penthouse. Penthouse pa, ALP ka na nga, penthouse pa. If you're looking into a penthouse, you're looking into a 90 million or more. And then I started getting there and I started, talking, have lunch together. And you're getting pieces of that. Eh. You're gonna get insights na parang, tama yan ah. Tama yan ah. Tama, sulat natin yan. Grabe. And then when you now speak with them, the best part there, kwento ko lang, no? The best part there are not the learnings that they're telling you. The best part there are how they think. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng how they think? The best part there is the way they think that if they want something, for example, this friend of mine, kapag sinabi niyang gusto ko pumunta ng ganitong lugar, wala nang isip-isip yun. Hindi siya sale, hindi siya ganito. If I want it, I got it. Parang ganon.
Oh.
And when you now start to hear those kinds of words, nag-iiba yung wiring ng utak mo. Are you with me? Nag-iiba yung mindset mo kasi parang ganun lang kadali sa'yo yun. Wala ka nang isip, wala ka nang consideration, wala ka nang concern. Yan na yun. Ayos yan ah. So, you start to become in awe and that is the very first thing. Start knowing what possibilities are and start being in awe about life because life is supposed to be exciting. So the very first thing, the second thing that helped me, number 1, humility to learn, na hindi pwedeng mamagaling. Number 2 is exposure. When I started exposing myself to these people, wow, nagbabago na yung wiring ng pag-iisip ko. Before I know it, I started thinking like that. Not on the basis of what I have, but on the basis of how I think. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what the law of attraction is. Hindi siya law of attraction, pipikit ka ganyan, isip-isip ka. Walang mangyayari dyan, besh. Oh. Diba? Ano yan, sa TikTok na yon, use the sound and you will manifest. Walang mangyayari dyan. Walang mangyayari dyan. The law of attraction basically is like a magnet. When what you want to attract becomes close to you, you started to think like they think, you started to behave like they behave, you started to act like they act, and you started to strategize like they strategize, then you will attract what they have. So, kung upo ka lang dyan, nakaupo ka, kahit anong upo mo dyan, walang mangyayari. Bakit? Where you are at is not where you want. So, the law of attraction really is how do I get to be like a magnet, no? To be close with who I want to be and where I want to be. How they think must be how I think, how they feel must be how they feel, how they behave must be how I behave, how they act must be how I act. Unlearn what I knew that is no longer serving me and start learning what they are and what they have that must be serving me. Then I will attract it. Exposure. What is possible? Number 3 is hindi lang pwedeng exposure, but I must be surrounded. Surrounded with people who are in that same attraction as I am. Okay? Which means, when you talk about, I gotta surround myself, hindi ka pwedeng social climber. Di ba? Kasi iba gusto lang mag-surround. No? Hindi ka pwedeng social climber. Ano yung social climber? Social climber is susurround ako sa mga taong gusto ko maging pero wala akong ambag. Di ba? Hindi ko sinabing kailangan financially ka mag-ambag. Tayo, for example, magkwentuhan tayo. Di ba, di lang naman pera tinitingnan mo, especially pag may kaibigan, di ba?
Value, yes. Yeah.
Di ba? Paminsan mag-ambag man lang ng kwento, oy. No, paminsan iba, ikaw pa entitled eh. No, you know my strategy when I was younger. Di ba? Sabi ko nga, I hit my first M 3-4 years ago. Di ba? When I was still where I am not yet. When I was younger, I've got none. I could tell you, ang sapatos ko pa noon, Easy Soft. Ano yung Easy Soft? 350 pesos lang yun eh. Yun lang yung kaya ko, yun lang yung afford ko dati, promise. Hindi ko kaya mag-angkas, so habal-habal lang dati yung sinasakyan ko, no? Totoo. Naalala ko pa itong mga times na to. And then, tapos pagpipila ka sa bus, di ko lang kung naabutan nyo to dati. Pagpipila ka sa van, pagpipila ka ng bus, 3 to 5 hours ang pila. Oh, tapos yung ang dumi mo niyan, ang dungis mo niyan, wala kang choice eh. That was where I was, no? Just to let you guys know. So I did not really start really well. I started just like majority of people here. Now, what I do whenever I get to surround myself with highly wealthy people that are still my friends now, okay, people who have made it in their life, I serve them. May bag ka, dalhin ko yan. Ako na. Nag-day off yung driver mo, ako. Sit there, ako mag-drive. So now, si Migs, gusto ko tong kasama. Yun lang naman yung importante, di ba? Gusto ko lang siya kasama. Kasi, and then suddenly, these people start bringing me to, Shangri-La. Tapos, pagbigay niya ng Shangri-La, ang utos sa akin nun, I could still firmly remember, one of my mentors, pagbigay sa akin ng Shangri-La niyan, isa lang ang sasabihin niya, never look at the price. Just look at what you want. Eh, hindi ko kayang basahin yun. Hindi ko lang kung nakapunta na yung Shangri-La, mga mamahaling mga restaurant. Ang hirap basahin yun eh. Kasi hindi naman yun, di ba, sanay tayo, madaling basahin yun kung ano-anong ang hirap. No? Di mo alam. Yung kape, 200 plus, 300 plus. Kape lang, 300? Totoo ba to? 245, yan yung mga presyo niyan eh. But ang lagi sabihin nun, kasi, what? Ang sarap mong kasama. Nagigets? Just get there. So, here I am, here they are, finding value from me. In the same way, I'm getting to see how they do it. One of my best exposures that I can share is, favorite ko to. When my mentor used to do client calls and I was there. And you're looking into deals that are 6 to 7 figure deals. You're looking into deals na, hey, let's do business together. I'm gonna do a business consultation with you for 3 hours and give me 150,000 for 3 hours. 150K? 3 hours? Totoo ba? May ganyang business deal? Yun yung, syempre, di ba? Yun yung pananaw ko nun eh. But I saw how they speak. I was mimicking them. I was watching them as if I'm watching a real course in front of me. Can you imagine that? The level of learning I got because of that. Ganun siya makipag-usap. Ganun yung mga sinasabi niya. This is how sales is done. This is how sales is closed. Ganito pala gumawa ng proposal. So when it was my time to sell, I was bringing all of that with me. Okay? And 3 to 4, and what made me sustain my M status is I'm 2 years straight, highest client case counter. I'm the highest closer for 2 years straight. You're in the same industries, Mark. I'm not sure if you still are. I'm not sure, no? Pero in the financial services, you're looking into when they reward you and recognize you as an, ito nga, no? Yung mga nasa likod ko, that's a literal money. Literal yun. When you're recognized as the top of the top, you're literally getting M's. Now, why do you think so? Gusto malaman? Grabe tong kwento na to, no?
For sure. Dara-diretso na tayo dito.
Totoo na. Kasi nga, you gotta understand, I was bringing that with me. So I now know how to speak with affluent markets. I now know how to speak with people on the basis of where they want to. I'm now starting closing deals. Okay, in 2020, during the pandemic, I hit a record of 26 clients in a month. That's literally one closing a day. One closed deal a day. So si Mark, wag mo na kumpitin. Basta malaki yun. Kasi hindi naman minimum lahat yun. That's literally big in a month. Why? Because that's the highest skill that I want you guys to understand. People skills. More than, kasi iba yun eh. Some people, kala nila meron ka lang magic script. Walang ganon. Sa pelikula yun. In reality, when you talk about selling yourself, no? The real selling yourself is how can I make sure that number one, I get to listen to the person I'm speaking with. And number two, how can I give what this person wants? And number three, over-deliver. Anong example? You guys are all listening to me right now, yes? But before that, I figured out first, what is it that you guys want? Okay, ito yung gusto nyong itanong sa akin, hindi ko yan sasagutin. Lalagpasan ko yan. Sasagutin ko yan in a way na lagpas pa sa gusto nyo. So ngayon, busog na busog na busog. Sinadya ko ba yan? No. But I just feel it's just so natural for me to always sell myself in a way I know how to listen. Majority of salespeople and marketers, the reason they're not profiting is because they're not listening to what people are saying. Okay? I have listened. I know what you want. I will give you what you want and more. Way, way more. And because of that, I now start closing. I now start closing. People will always are willing to give their money if they feel what you will give them or the value that you will give them is way more than what they're getting currently. People would always want to exchange their money for that. So, if that's the case, the question is, if you want to reach M's, you want to get all of these, no? You got to understand, number one, there is money in the world. Punta kayo sa mga Apple Store. Di ba lagi sold out? Oh, paano naging walang pera yung tao? Sold out nga. Nangyari yun. You go to Louis Vuitton, for example. Okay, when you go to Louis Vuitton, there's a line. Dalawang linya yan, usually. Okay? Bakit may pila? If people don't have money, how come there's a line? So does that make sense? Number one, people have money. Maybe your product or service are not just valuable enough. If they are valuable enough, in your own opinion, do they know about it? That it is really valuable enough. On the basis of what? Number four, what will serve them best versus what you're trying to tell them. And this includes all, not just in sales, not just in business. Even in politics, you will say this. I will not go into politics, though that's a very sensitive topic. But even in politics, you will see those people na galit, tingnan mo, wala silang nako-convince na tao. Pansin niyo ba yun? Di ba yung mga G na parang, sige, di magalit ka dyan, pero wala ka nako-convince na tao, di ba? Bakit? You can never convince or persuade anyone if you make them the enemy. And it's the same thing with sales. Mas maganda tong cellphone na to kesa sa cellphone mo. Pangit yung cellphone mo. Mali ka ng desisyon. Mali ako ng desisyon. Mali ako ng desisyon. Okay. Pero hindi pa rin ako bibili sa'yo. Hindi dahil tama yung desisyon ko, kung hindi dahil pinaramdam mong mali yung desisyon ko. So, it's really all about being able to be with people and generating people skills, not just speaking skills. Ayun, sana nasagot ko.
Grabe, legit talaga na siksik talaga. Sabi pa nga dito ni Pat Agorto, like, malaman na malaman tong podcast. I do agree. Like, every single week, minimake sure talaga namin na the best of the best talaga ng mga speakers like from MJ to Coach Migs. Grabe, sobrang malaman talaga. And just to add lang din sa binanggit ni Coach Migs, I think it really goes on talaga no, on bringing value to people. Now once you bring value to people, once you bring value to other people, yung value din would come back to you eh. I think with literally everything talaga eh. So grabe. Thank you for that sobrang extensive na detail, Coach Migs. And in this case, I hope you have time pa for questions. So meron tayong mga few
Go, go,
questions.
go. Meron.
Okay, so yeah, so you can start, Petal.
Ayan, let's start it off. Galing kay God King sa ating Discord channel. When did you start, Sir Migs, and what age? Then a follow-up question. Tapos ano yung unang yung pinasok na negosyo?
Okay.
Ayan.
I thought in the past, I thought I am not meant for business. Sa totoo lang. Feeling ko business is not for me. My very first business was a choco chip. Na 4 months lang tumagal yun, no? So, I became a reseller of a choco chip. Well, it's more of, we build choco chip, merong supplier, more on parang nagluluto lang siya. Sabi ko, sige, let's scale that up. So, let me sell that, no? So, I became a parang dealer or reseller of this choco chip and then started, profiting in business. I had income at that time. I'm still working nito. So, I think I was 20. I was 20 during this time. And then, meron akong kinikita dyan. I still have a full-time job, no, noong mga panahon na to. And then, meron akong kinikita, pero yung effort niya, masyadong may effort on my end. Now, yung mga mahilig sa chocolate chip or yung mag-bake, yung mga mahilig sa bake, they will not mind it. Eh, hindi naman ako mahilig. So, parang everything is a chore. Diba? Isipin mo pa yung logistics, isipin mo pa yung paano ita-transport. All of these things, parang tapos i-excel mo pa yan, kailangan magtugma yung mga gastos sa kinikita mo. So, paminsan, pag tinransport yan ng courier, nasisira yung cookie, so kailangan palitan, di gastos na naman. So, I'm not happy with what was happening. So, we eventually, after 4 months, I closed it. And then, after which, I started getting into a second business. Second business ko ay para siyang middleman. Okay? It started out as a consulting. Nagpapakonsult yung mga tao. I've got partners, so it's not me alone. Nagpapakonsult lang yung mga tao that suddenly we became a marketing middleman. No? That's my second business. Now, this one somewhat became successful. The problem is there was a problem in legalities na quote-unquote, okay, hindi naman siya literally, but in essence, parang tinakbo yung profits. So, sakit, di ba? So, tinakbo yung pera, hindi nga. So, all of that was the lowest point in my life. Kasi nung kumita yon, nung nagsimulang kumita yon, nag-resign ako. Di ba? Baka may mga nanonood dito, ganyan gagawin, no? Kung simulang kumita, nag-resign agad. Dintapang ko. Eh, wala akong alam sa negosyo. Nakatikim lang ng konting, nakakita lang. Hindi pala nakatikim. Actually, nakakita lang ng business income. Diba? May mga nakaka-rate. Kasi sa crypto or sa trade, ganyan din eh. Nakatingin lang. Yung hindi naman talaga winidraw, nasa platform lang, di nyo pa pera yan. Hanggat di nyo wini-withdraw yan, di nyo pa pera yan. Hanggat nasa trading account yan, di nyo pera yan. So, ganyan din ako. So, meron ng cheque, all of these. Hanggat wala yan sa bank. At that time, akala ko, pera na. Tinakbo. When we now start to take a look into the legalities, wala na yung pangalan ko. So, paano yun? Di wala. Wala akong natikman. Natignan lang. So, that was the lowest point of my life. There was a business that I should have ventured in pero hindi natuloy. It was supposed to be para siyang dealer ng ilaw pero hindi naman natuloy yun. So wala naman nasimulan doon. Ito yung pinaka-consider ko na 2 business. And then the third, I started getting into internship. I started getting into a mentorship already. Ito na yung kinwento ko kanina. Yung nag-expose ako, nag-aral muna ako. I wanna learn the trade first. I wanna learn the tricks first. I was age 21 by this time. So, nung time na to, 21 ako, nag-aral muna ako, 8 straight months. Sabi ko sa magulang ko, pagbigyan nyo na ako. Kasi kako, 21 lang ako eh. Kung pumalpak, madaling mag-apply. 21 lang ako eh. My age is my asset. So if there are people listening here, your age is your asset. You can take the risk. Hindi wala ka pa dun sa panahon, hindi wala ka pa dun sa time na masyado ka nang nag-iingat sa risk kasi wala ka pa namang responsibilidad sa buhay. So you can take the risk. Worst comes to worst, you can easily apply again. So yun yung sabi ko. 8 months, never went back simply because I started become an apprentice. Went into a mentorship, an apprentice. Unpaid yan wala yung bayad. So ang pinanggagastos ko nito ay yung naipon ko from my corporate. Kasi nag full-time job nga ako for 2 years eh. So, from my corporate, yung naipon ko, sabi ko, I can last for 8 straight months ng, wala tong extra expenses. Pangkain, transpo. Yun lang talaga. Kaya nga, sabi ko, ang sapatos ko na can-afford ko lang dati easy soft. Kasi wala akong pera eh. So, yun lang talaga, no? My parents are not giving me anything anymore. So, edi yun na nga, no? With that 8 months, what happened was, I started learning. And then sabi ko nga, my mentor at that time is into a consulting and training. He's a training facilitator. Nagkataon, ang galing ko magbenta ng ticket. Yung majority ng mga consulting niya sa akin nare-refer. Marami, hindi naman majority but many. Sabi ko, ang galing ko magbenta ng ticket. Okay to So sabi ko, give me more leads. Akong bahala dyan. Yung mentor ko, sabi niya, sige, punta mo si ganito, punta mo si ganyan. Pinupuntahan ko, close ko yung deal. Ayos to, ayos. Okay. Then I started working with my mentor. Sabi ko, this is my first business. This is my next business. Sabi ko, why don't I become your third-party consultant? Di ba? Co-commission ako sa'yo. Wala kang babayaran, co-commissionan mo ako. O sige. Pag ito na-hit mo, ito commission mo. Pag ganito commission. Sige. Went into it. Ang galing ko pala. Nagkataon, no? Malay ko ba? Ang galing ko noon, nung time na yun, magbenta ng ticket. Pero matrabaho. Kasi ang daming demo, ang daming so matrabaho. Pero that was the first business that right now I became a co-owner of. So that's one of my business lines right now because dahil nga ang galing ko doon, my mentor told me, why don't you reinvest rather, so you can get equity. So I paid through equity. No? So hindi na lang siya sweat equity kasi meron na siyang act. Nung una, sweat equity lang. Nung sige, ito yung amount so that you can become official. Sige, so I paid. Ang tanong, saan ko nakuha yung pambayad kasi mahal yun? No? Ang tanong, saan ko nakuha ang pambayad? Di dun din, dahil nga ang galing ko magbenta ng ticket eh. So, bawas na lang. So, sa mga bawas na na-commission ko, bawas mo na lang dyan. Balik mo na yan sa pambayad ko yan. Pambayad ko yan. Bawas mo na lang. Ito na lang bigay mo sa akin. Just for me to survive. Are you with me? So, the reason why it became my business line, because from my profits, from my income, I reinvested it back to buy equity. So, yun yung first experience ko of buying equity. After that, ito na, inalok niya na ako. Why don't you enter my financial services? Sabi ko, ayoko niya. Nung una, ayoko niyan. Hinit niya yung ego ko. Sabi niya, kung magaling ka talaga, ito pasukin mo kasi ito yung pinakamahirap. Ganun. So, naiguhan ako eh. Siyempre, tao lang, natamaan. Ganun. Sige nga, try ko lang. I struggled for 6 months straight kasi I was really resisting. I struggled for 6 months straight because I was really resisting. Until such time na sabi ko, hindi na tama to. It was my name on the line. Sabi ko to myself. Bakit? Kasi ang galing ko magbenta ng ganito, galing ko magbenta ng ticket, then medyo nakikilala na ako ng ibang tao, tapos dito hindi ko maging okay. So, okay, I started learning with, I started attending a conference of the business advisor of Robert Kiyosaki. Ang pangalan niya si Blair Singer. Okay, so yung business advisor niya, I started getting into what is your sales training? How did you scale up your financial servicing? Ni Blair. So, I started entering. Sige nga, natutunan ko. I got myself really wonderful experience there that I started applying to my financial services. So sabi ko, sige nga, gawin ko. Here's the thing, I started creating, parang after attending that program, started creating tremendous result, but the bad news happened. Ano yung bad news? March 14, 2020. So, I became, di ba, sabi ko nga, alam niyo na to, di ba? So, at 22, I started selling tickets. At 23, I reinvested it back. That reinvestment to my business of what I'm getting, di ba, galing ko mag-sell ticket, tapos nire-invest ko para makakuha ko ng equity, correct? That made me an M. That gave me my first M. Kasi ang galing ko nga magbenta ng ticket tapos nare-reinvest ko. So I'm hitting two birds in one stone. Ano yun? I'm getting commissions and I'm getting profit share. Correct? May commission na ako, may profit share pa ako kasi nag-reinvest ako eh. Meron na akong equity value eh. So sa kada program na nabebenta ko na magaling, meron na akong commission, meron pa akong profit share. That made me an M kasi ang dami nun. We're doing into, at that time, we're getting into 8, if I'm not mistaken, mahina ang 4 to 8 a month. And you're looking into 500 to 1M deals. So even if maliit lang yung equity mo, or hindi super laki yung equity mo, but pag scale up mo yan, ang laki niyan. Are you guys with me? Nakakasunod? So that gave me my first M. And then, financial services, after ito na, 2021 na. So, 3 years after, so from 22, after 3 years, 2021, sabi ko nga, 6 months I struggled. So, yan ang maganda because I had the discipline when I hit my first M. Nung nag-struggle ako ng 6 months, my cash flow provided me with enough income that I no longer have to touch my M. Nagigets? Hindi ko na yan kailangan galawin. Kasi naging disiplinado ko eh. So even if 6 months straight, hindi ko kailangan galawin yung M. Secured yan. Dito, I will work with the discipline here. Nagigets? Now, afterwards, after that 6 months, nagkaroon na ng pandemic, the president declared lockdown. 2020, the president declared lockdown. But, sabi ko, no. Bala kayo dyan. So, first 2 months na experience ko, yung mga tao, di nila alam anong gagawin. Ano to, mga March, April, May. Hindi nila alam, anong gagawin natin ngayon? Anong gagawin natin ngayon? No, I was in my bedroom. I kid you not, I was in my bedroom working. When people are doing nothing, I was working. Why? Because during that time, I had one mindset. Lahat ng magagaling sa industriya ng financial services na medyo may edad na, hindi marunong mag-internet. So can you imagine, I can beat them now? Totoo, ito yung mindset ko nun. Ay di kaya kong talunin ngayon lahat yan. Kasi, di ba lahat ng mga magagaling, ang daming suffix, kunyari Migs Flores, ang daming kasunod, no? Mga daming pinag-aralan, ang daming all of these things. Sa dami ng kaalaman nila, hindi sila marunong mag-Zoom. Marunong ako mag-Zoom. Di ang nasa isip ko, wala kayong negosyo ngayon, akin yan lahat. That was my mindset. Akin yan lahat. So I started going into marketing. Pag nakita niyo mga early videos ko sa YouTube, I kid you not, totoo. Ang pangit nun kasi wala kang gupit eh. Di ba? Wala kang barber ng mga panahon. So wala kang gupit. So grabe, punong-puno yung buhok ko, ang pangit. Pero still, wala pa akong super gandang equipment. Pero still, I was working. My mindset at that time, I will out-consistent people. So when people are playing games, when people are not doing anything, when people are figuring out what am I gonna do, I am working. That was my biggest advantage during the pandemic. It took me only at that time, took me 3 months. No? Pagdating ng June, nagsimula na, puputukan na. Then if you remember, I was the first one, I'm not sure if you guys know this, 2020, I was the first one who ran ads. Invest in the stock market, ganyan. Yung kalakasan nun, I was the first one to do it. So yung nakita nyo na invest in stocks, ito yung presyo niyan noon, ito yung presyo niyan ngayon, familiar ba kayo doon? I was the first one to run the ad. So, pasensya na yung sa iba, hindi ako yung first, hindi, iyayabang ko yan. Everything else was a copy. I was the first one to run the ad. And at that time, my cost per message or cost per inquiry is at 0.3. No. Hindi naman, OA naman yun. 0.4, mga ganyan. Can you imagine, at that time, ngayon ang mahal na di ba? Nasa 9 pesos, 8 pesos na yan At that time, it was at 0.4. My cost per message was 0.4. So I was receiving minimum of 200 inquiry per day. I was receiving 200 inquiries per day. Now, sinong sasalo? Siyempre ako lang marunong mag-Zoom Quote unquote, di ba? Kasi nga yung mga magagaling, hindi man sila marunong mag-Zoom. Ako lang marunong mag-Zoom. So sa akin kayo makipag-Zoom. That I started doing 8-10 meetings a day. I was doing 8 meetings a day at that time. I was doing 8. I know I'm closing, but I was so tired. What's my next question? How can I scale it up? That bring me forth to my favorite. That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was how Prime started. Yeah, dyan nagsimula yung Prime, no? Oh, that's how Prime started. How can I scale this up? What if I train people to close deals like me so that they can handle my leads and I get profits? Nagigets nyo? It started with 1. It started with 2. It started with 3. And then before you know it, there was a minimum of 6 people to 10 people getting that I'm doing business with. So because it's my lead and they're getting result, they're closing deals because I taught them how to sell, I taught them how to close deals, I'm getting profits from that. Diyan nagsimula yung Prime. Yung Prime Pinoy community yan Yung Prime Investments itself, the business, no? Now, what's my next question? Para lang alam niyo yung buong, grabe kinuwento ko. Okay lang ba? Baka na-iinip na kayo. Okay lang ba?
Sure.
Diyan nagsimula yan. So, there was so demand, I was getting leads. Na-in love ako. Sabi ko, ang ganda nito. What if I can make them marketers just like me? But because I am the expert here, all of their marketing becomes my business line. Akin pa rin lahat yan. So from nag-market ako, kuha akong leads, bumuo. Then, what if I duplicate the same system? So, kung naalala nyo, biglang nagputukan yan. Dumami yung invest in the stocks. No? And many of which are mine. Sorry, pero yes. Many of which are mine. How do you know? If you see my face there, that's mine. Ibig sabihin, pag basta may mukha ko yan. So yung mga taong to, I now start to teach them, sige, let's build na a marketing funnel from you. Pero akin yan. Di ba? I mean, you will earn, of course, I will give you profit share para happy ka. I will give you big commissions para happy ka. Pero syempre, I will still receive profit shares there because they're still mine. The system is mine. Nagigets? So from 1, I started duplicating it. So that's why in 2020, we did, I think 2020, I closed at 5.5 year to date. But by 2021, we closed at 14 M. How much is mine secret? Pero that's the revenue.
Nagko-compute
By-
na.
Wag niyo na ulitin. By 2022, I did, year to date, we're at 7. No, hindi naman. We're at 5 plus in 3 months. So, huwag niyo na kumpitin. Basta, prime pa lang yun. So, may nagtanong, di ba? Prime. Then, of course, what do I do with the, sabi ko nga, majority, I just get back. I just reinvest it back. So, I started buying other businesses. So, merong coffee shop, nag-offer, nag-pitch. I believe in the boss. I believe in what they're doing. I believe in whatever they're up to. How much can I buy that? No? Di naman kailangan malaki. I just wanna, how can I be a co-owner of that? Sama mo lang ako dyan. Gusto ko lang ng piece niya. Okay, sige. And then there was this another venture na medyo organic, organic products, honeys, all of these things. How can I get royalties from that? How much can I have to get royalties from that? Then I'll get. So are you guys getting this? I'm reinvesting it. Pero of course, I'm not reinvesting to things that I don't know. If I'm not sure what it is, I don't reinvest. Mostly I reinvest it back to scaling up, so that it becomes a multiplier. Namumultiply siya. So, yun yung sa mga nagtanong, that's how Prime started. That's how we branched out. Sa mga nakakaalam ng Prime soon, wag kayo, basta soon, malalaman nyo, where I'm gonna expand it to another industry that is big. Na related to financial services pa rin. So, alam niyo naman, kung Robert Kiyosaki, di ba? Kung alam niyo naman yung mga sinasabi ni Robert Kiyosaki, alam niyo naman kung nasan siya. We're gonna expand it more, scale it up more. That's how it started, basically. Yun yung sinasabi ko din, Mark and Fatal and for everyone here. Hindi ka pwedeng magtayo ng negosyo nang hindi ka magaling sa ginagawa mo. Kasi hindi pwedeng, bakit ko sinabi na kailangan magaling ka sa ginagawa mo? Because ang main thing that made my business a success, in my opinion, was that I know the ins and outs of the business. I know every single detail. Success, ladies and gentlemen, is on the details. It's success, you cannot be successful by, in one shot and that's it. No. One hit wonder lang yan, mamatay din yan afterwards. The real success is knowing what the details are. Knowing what the details are. Every single, what are the ins, the outs, the in-betweens of the business. What has the industry changed? What has been the change in the industry? How can I innovate? How can I be first? You guys started with building an NFT community that became massive. Di ba? Boardpunk started this. Maraming nagsunuran, pero you guys started this. Really wonderful. Pwede na ako mag-share, okay lang?
Sure, for sure.
Went to my management committee. Okay? An NFT community is doing something really good in Discord. Sobrang ganda. How can I bring this to my business? So yung mga ginagawa nyo sobrang gaganda. Okay? Again, best practices. Ako, I will admit this. Best practices, I copy that. No? Pero ang pinagkaiba lang naman, if you copy. Hindi pwede. Ang tawag dyan, nakaw na tawag dyan, no? Plagiarism na tawag dyan. Stealing na tawag dyan. You don't wanna copy what they're doing. You just wanna learn from that. And this is what I'm gonna share, no? This is what was effective for me. I wanna learn from that, but bring now the flavor to my own business that actually works. Then, get in the pieces that works and get in the pieces that don't work. Does that make sense? Hindi pwede, kasi pag full copy, kailangan mo na magpaalam. So, that's number 1. Number 2, the best way para welcome ka pa rin, or ako, the best way para welcome pa din ako at ikaw para welcome ka pa rin is to over-deliver. Uy, ang ganda nung ginawa mo sa Discord, paano ko ba gawin din yan sa akin? O sige, tuturo nyo sa akin. Pero pag in return, ito, kahit 1 hour 40 minutes, ang taas pa rin na energy ko. Why? I will over-deliver. I will give massive value para patas. Saan lang naman naiinis yung ibang tao? Kinopya mo na nga, hindi ka pa nag-ambag. Magbibuisit talaga yung tao dyan, di ba? So, you wanna make sure, okay, number 1, wag mo kopyahin lahat. Just bits and pieces. Number 2, ambag ka para patas.
Yes.
Number 3, put in your own flavor. Okay? And this is my suggestion, no? Kaya nag-suggest ako, oy, gusto ko na bumalik. I wanna bring in what I'm good at to where I'm at so that I become valuable also. So, does that make sense? Hindi mo mapeke yun eh. Sinabi yan ni Gary Vaynerchuk in the past. Jab, right hook. Di ba? Gumawa siya ng libro dyan. Hindi mo mapeke yun. Hindi mo mapeke yung panay marketing. No. The real marketing is their experience of you.
Yes.
Yun lang. Dami kong kwento.
Grabe, thank you so much for that very extensive talaga na kwento sa Coach Mick. I believe sobrang it's very valuable to a lot of viewers right now, no? Probably in the Discord right now, ang dami pa rin dito nag-stay. And even ako din sobrang napuno ako ng value. Tama lang talaga na you're our guest for this week. So, grabe, thank you. How about you, Fatal? Baka may input ka additional din.
Actually, na-overwhelm ako sa sobrang dami ko natutunan for tonight. Like, truly invest in yourself. Once you've invested in yourself and naipakita mo yung worth mo as a person, as nagugustuhan mo rin lalo yung ginagawa mo, your goals, your ambitions in life, makakamit yan once talagang nag-pursue tayo sa isang bagay. Yeah.
Yes. And also, Coach Mix, no? So before we officially end na rin yung talaga, I just want to give you a chance like to promote any of your for example, socials and kung saan ka ba nila pwede makita and everything and other things na din, like last message para at least people would get to see you more, especially with with a very great value na nakuha natin right now.
Okay, number 1, I've got a special gift that I will be sharing with you. Let me just confirm it now. Wait lang Okay, correct. Perfect. So, una-una, of course, I just want to promote, if you haven't followed me yet, go to Migs Flores or at Life Coach Migs. Okay, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Yun lang naman yung username ko sa lahat eh. So, isa lang username ko. Ano yung username ko sa Instagram, sa TikTok, yun na sa lahat, no? Is at Life Coach Migs. Hindi ko na rin yan binago. Kung yun na yan in the past, yan pa rin yan ngayon. Please do make sure to follow because I'm giving out a lot of content there that are free, that are very valuable. Sabi ko nga sa inyo and for everyone that's watching right now, hindi ako kumikita dyan. So, I'm okay. My business is good. Kinwento ko naman na kanina. No? So, I'm okay. I don't need to earn from you. But, okay, make sure you follow, you subscribe because I'm giving out a lot of content. That's number 1. Libre na yan, i-maximize na. Number 2, this is for BPOS alone. Just make sure you are a member of BPOS. Again, one of my businesses that I became a co-owner already. It's called I Am Plus. Okay, kung naririnig nyo to. It's called I Am Plus Coaching Systems. Okay, and we're doing a lot of transformational programs. Okay, hindi ito yung hindi ito yung seminar na makikinig ka lang. No, this is an experience-filled program. It's a transformational program. You use LGAT, no, a large group awareness training. So basically, you learn as you experience. You learn about yourself as you experience. This is the reason why we're doing life coaching. And for all board punks members, all community members, all board punks members, we're gonna be giving away 15% off. Okay, so this is my gift to all of you guys. 15% off to all our programs. Just, syempre, pakilala man lang kayo. I'm a board punks holder. Sina Mark ang ano niyan? Mark, kayo ang mag-decide kung ano ang
Yes.
parameters niyan. Okay? Syempre, hindi ko pangungunahan sila, yung mga boss, no? So, mag-decide. But I'm gonna give this upfront, whether this is for community members or for holders or for minters, di ko alam. Si Board Punks ang magde-decide, but for all Board Punks, the parameters will say we're gonna give you 15% off on all of our programs. So right now, our programs right now are sometimes doing 4 days, 3 nights at 30 grand if you experience it at 15% off, including lodging and meals. So technically, kung titignan mo, if you're gonna get into our programs, technically, ang binayaran mo na lang pagkain mo, di ba? Saka accommodation mo. Because we're gonna give you as in ano to, may tutulugan, naka-heater, abundant yung feeling, no? We're reserving venues like that for you. Go ahead, if you check out I Am Plus, okay? Say my name. Oy, narinig ko po to, pero sino? Di ba? Kasi syempre tatanungin ka ng admin eh. Kanino mo narinig yan? Pag say my name, and then we will be extending the discount to you if you attend our programs. Again, one of the biggest investment I want you to make is on yourself. Once you experience yourself deeper, it becomes way different. Nag-iba na ang tingin mo sa mundo. I promise you, I kid you not, I have 100% certainty here. So make sure you get to that 15% off. Okay, now, aside from that, last but not the least, make sure you commune with me, get into a mentorship with me. I'm giving it, some are free. The only paid mentorship that I offer, para lang clear, no, is if you will take an exclusive time from me. Bakit? Para lang maintindihan ng iba. Bakit naniningil ka dun sa exclusive time? Syempre, kasi instead na magtatrabaho ko para sa negosyo ko, pupunta ako sa'yo, di ba? So doon, may konting singil yan. Pero if it's part of my business, if you want free mentorship or free OJT from me, just let me know. Free OJT, Coach Migs. We'll put you into the process. We'll take you into the process of mentorship. Meron na yan. Meron ng mga lessons dyan. Meron ng mga modules dyan. You're gonna be part of a mentorship pool para nasusuportahan ka every single week. And once in a while, I'm there to directly speak with you. Yun lang. Siyempre, what's the difference? Bakit libre, coach? Kasi magtatrabaho ka. Oo, OJT nga eh. Hindi to OJT na on-the-job tambay, on-the-job trainee. Ibig sabihin, may kasamang trabaho. So, trabaho po tayo. Which I feel free mentorship ito, the best way to learn is by working. The best way to learn is to experience it. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Grabe. Thank you so much, Coach Migs. I think with regards to sa details, tsaka yung sa, for example, mga links, I think i-contact na lang kita later for that para ma-share ko with the community. Kasi I'm pretty sure maraming magiging interested with dito. I think probably sure i-check out ka mamaya later. So again, thank you so much, Coach Migs. Thank you so much for the wonderful time, and grabe, sobrang valuable talaga niya so far. It's almost it's almost 2 hours na, pero right now yung mga lessons pa rin is nagre-resonate pa rin with me. So thank you so much again, Coach Migs. And hopefully, and we could get to meet you again soon for another events and everything. Pero
Go live if you want.
ayo nga na live next time naman, mga mga FTF naman. Okay, we'll see for that. And you, Fatal, going to you.
To be honest, we're very thankful talaga ako, Coach Mix, for this wonderful session, for this wonderful episode 25 ng ating Board Punks podcast. And hope all you guys na nakikinig ngayon sa ating Discord as well as for Facebook ay maraming natutunan. Yun lang po overall. Thank you very much.
So again, guys, thank you so much for being here with us, and kita-kita ulit tayo sa next episode ng podcast natin. It's been a fun night, no? Even umabot tayo ng gatong gabi, the lessons are very valuable pa din. So see you guys in the next live, and doon sa may binanggit ni Coach Migs na para coaching session and with the lodgings and everything, I hope sana makita ko din kayo nun, guys. And bye-bye, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.